Okay, so students, what I've done till now is computer networking, the first part. Okay, first part of the computer networking. So we'll go for the next part now. Okay, this is part 2 of your networking chapter. Okay, what we have done initially, we have gone through the following modules. The first one is the communication model, we have completed already. The second one is what is networking, we have discussed what is networking. Third one, we have discussed the advantages of networking, then the components of network. In this particular section, we have completed only up to what? Only to the extent where we are discussing actually communication channels. So we'll again start from that particular portion, and then we'll go to types of network, network topologies, then protocols, then network architectures, and exercise questions will be given. Okay, after that. So in the hardware component section, what we have done in the hardware component section, we have discussed nodes, workstations, and server. The next topic was connecting media. Okay, where we have left. Okay, so what is connecting media? Connecting media is nothing but the communication channels, okay, through which data is transferred over the network. Okay, to transfer data over network, we must need some what? Medium of exchange. This medium of exchange is called connecting media. Now, this connecting media can be divided into two categories. Okay, wired or guided media. So let us discuss the wired or guided media first. The first type of cable we have is twisted pair cable. What? Twisted pair cable. So this is suppose a Cat5 cable, okay, category 5 cable, and it has 4 pairs. Okay, green white, red white, sorry, brown white, blue white, and orange white. These are the 4 pairs. Okay, in total we have 8 cables. Okay, so this is the simplest and cheapest type of cable we have in network communication. Next type of cable we have is coaxial cable. Coaxial cable is just used in what? Cable TV networks. It can be also used in computer networks. Okay, for getting internet connections using cables, you can use coaxial also, or maybe fiber optic, which we'll be discussing later on. So it is faster than twisted pair cables in some cases, and then but it is slower than what? The fiber optic cable, the next type of cable. Now coaxial cables are costlier than twisted pair cables. Third type of cable is optical fiber or fiber optic cable. These are the fastest of cable. They transmit data at the speed of light. At the speed of light. Again I repeat. Now let us see wireless or unguided media. Okay, in wireless or unguided media, that means where no wire is used. Okay, no cable is used. We have first type of transmission which is done using radio wave. Okay, so radio wave can be used to transmit data. And then we have microwave. Okay, for this we have microwave stations. Okay, and then the third one is satellite communication. Okay, the advantage of satellite communication is that from anywhere you can access the connection, but it is heavily dependent upon the weather. Okay, if it is too cloudy, okay, raining heavily, okay, the signals may disrupt. Now our next topic is types of network as per geographical spread. That means how much area the network is covering. According to that, we can divide the network in categories. Okay, now let us see the categories. First one is local area network or LAN. Then we have campus area network or CAN. Campus area is nothing but a extended version of what? Local area network. It is one type of local area network. And then the third one is metropolitan area network or MAN. Fourth one is wide area network or WAN. And the fifth one is personal area network or PAN. Okay, so let us discuss all these 5 types of networks. Okay, according to their geographical spread. Now, the first type of network is local area network. Local area network or LAN is a kind of network that spreads within a localized area. Now, what do you mean by this localized area? Okay, localized area means it could be a room, it could be a computer lab in a school, it could be a computer lab in a college. Okay, so all this can be termed as local area network or LAN. Okay, so network of computers within a room, office or lab can be termed as LAN. So our computer network inside our school is what? A LAN. So it is basically a private network to an organization, as because it is within a room, within a what? Office, it is private to that office. Okay, it is not public. So this is one picture of LAN setup, maybe one sample. Okay, for example only. Okay, so LAN can be created using what? Ethernet technology. The most common technology that is used to create LAN is or set up LAN is Ethernet. Okay, and we may use hub or switch and then the cables and the nodes that are connected to the network. All these are collectively forming the network. The next type of network is campus area network. I have already told you campus area network is an extended version of LAN. Suppose there is a university, and in university some separate buildings may be there. Okay, suppose the corporate building, okay, or the education segment. Okay, all this can be divided. The library, okay, that building may be different. Seminar building may be different. Okay, so if a big area is there, but that area is what? Surrounded by boundary. It is a localized area, but it is not so small area. Suppose your university campus is spread within 3 acres. Okay, so connecting different buildings or different individual networks of that university may be termed as what? Campus area network. So campus area network is a network that spread within a campus. Okay, that means the campus of the university. So CAN is a LAN with a little larger localized area coverage. Okay, may spread within school, college, university or office campus. Okay, it is also private to a particular organization. So this is one example. Okay, 4 different segments, okay, of an office is connected in a campus area network. Then the next one is metropolitan area network or MAN. Okay, MAN covers larger geographical area as compared to LAN and CAN. Okay, so MAN generally spreads within a city or within a township. Okay, the best example of MAN is your cable TV network. Okay, your cable TV network in your town is the best example of MAN. It may spread within township, city or adjacent cities maybe sometimes. Okay, so this is one example of what? This is an image of what? Metropolitan area network. Then the next type is wide area network. The full form is not changed. Actually, it should be WAN, W-A-N. Okay. So it covers larger geographical area as compared to MAN. It may spread within few cities of a state. Okay, or it may spread across states within a country. It can spread across countries within a continent, and it can spread among continents also. Okay, so it may be spreading all over the world. Okay, clear? So it may spread within country, continent, or worldwide. The wide area network is the largest geographical, has the largest geographical spread in terms of all kinds of networks. Okay, best example of WAN is internet. Okay, internet is the best example of WAN. Okay, so see, using internet we can connect any machine. Okay, situating anywhere in the world. We may connect a machine from India to France, or India to Germany, or Germany to India, and vice versa. Okay. So PAN is purely a private network to a person. Okay, it is not at all private to organization. It is private to a person. Suppose you are going to transfer your files from your mobile to your laptop. So if you connect your laptop with your mobile using Wi-Fi, or suppose a data cable or Bluetooth, and transfer data, it will be termed as personal area network, because it is within the proximity of a person. Okay, so PAN is a network which is called a personal area network, is a network within the proximity of an individual. Okay, it may connect to or more personal devices. It uses generally infrared or Bluetooth technology for transmission. However, you can use wireless communication also. So this is one example of, suppose I have a wireless printer. Using Bluetooth, I can connect that and give prints out from my mobile. Similarly, I can transfer data from my mobile to my laptop, or as such. Now, next topic is network topology. Topology refers to the way we actually lay out the network. It is the physical or logical layout of a network. So, physical layout tells you how the network is organized physically, and logical topology tells you how the network works. It is a little bit different. Okay, now let us see the physical topologies of different networks. Generally, network topology refers to a layout or pattern in which nodes, that means different components of a computer network, are connected in it. First topology is what? Physical. First type of topology is physical topology. It gives us the physical layout or how the network looks. It tells us how the network looks. And next one is what? Logical topology. It tells us how the network works. What is the working principle of that network? Okay. Types of network topologies will be discussed now. Okay. First one is bus or linear topology. Bus or linear topology is the most simplest topology that can be created, or layout of a network. Okay. Then next one is star. After that we have ring or circular topology, and then you have tree topology, and then mesh topology. Now all these topologies, some topologies can be combined to make hybrid topologies. Some of these are hybrid topologies, so they are combination of two topologies. So let us discuss the bus topology first. Okay, bus topology uses a single cable to connect all the nodes into the network. This single cable is called backbone cable or the trunk line. Okay, the cable is called bus, backbone cable, or trunk line. Now this is one example, okay, or image of bus topology. Okay, there is a cable which is called the bus cable or the backbone cable. In both ends there is a terminator. Okay, and there is a server at one end, and all the other workstations or nodes are connected. Okay, clear? Now next one is star topology. Star topology, as the name suggests, it looks like a star. Okay, that means it uses a central device called hub or switch instead of connecting all the machines in a single bus or trunk line or what? Backbone cable. A single cable is used to connect network nodes. It was not changed actually, sorry. So star topology network is a kind of network that connects all the computers in a centralized device called hub or switch. Okay, so this is the picture. Okay, ignore this text. Okay, it was not changed. This is one PC which is connected to the central device. This is another PC which is connected to the central device. All these are connected to the central device, and this is a server that is also connected to the central device. This central device is called the hub or the switch. Okay. The next type of topology is, okay, actually topologies we haven't completed writing the topologies. Okay. So I'll discuss, ignore the text. Okay. This is a kind of topology which is called ring, where in a circle all the computers are connected. Okay, in a closed circle all the computers are connected. Okay, and for transmission of data, a packet travels within the ring or the circle, and whatever machine grabs that packet can send the data. So at a particular point of time, if it is a single ring, okay, only one computer can send data. Then we have tree topology. Again, ignore the text. Okay, this is the structure of tree topology, which is a combination of what? Two topologies. One is bus. So these are connecting like a bus. Okay, this is single connection. And then these are individually star topologies. So star and bus in combination gives you the tree topology. Okay, so tree topology is also referred to as hierarchical topology, as because machines are what? Connected in a hierarchical fashion. So if this server is on, this computer can access data from this server, and this can also what? Access data from this. And to get access to this, it must go through this. So this is the layout of our tree topology. And next one we have mesh topology. Ignore the text, I will discuss it. Mesh topology is a kind of topology where all the computers have what? Connections to all other computers. So this computer will connect these four computers. This also connect these four computers. So all computers will have the maximum number of connections, okay, that it could make. Okay, that means each computer is connected to every other computer in the network. Okay, you should ignore this text. Okay, this is not changed in the presentation. So in mesh topology, okay, when a particular computer is connected to, if all the computers are connected to all other computers, this is called a full mesh. Okay, but in case suppose one connection is not there for a particular computer, only 3 connections are made to 4 computers. Okay, then out of 4 we have made only 3 connections. It will not be called full mesh. It will be called what? Half mesh or irregular mesh. Okay. Now mesh topology has this full mesh and this irregular mesh or half mesh, where not all computers have connection to all other computers. Okay, so this is all about topologies. Then we'll discuss something called protocol. When you connect computers in a network, they must follow some rules to communicate. Okay, take the example of a verbal communication. I have already given you the example of verbal communication. When you start speaking with others, okay, there are some unsaid rules. I must have to know whether the person understands the language I am speaking. Yes or no? So this is one unsaid rule. That means both of us should agree upon a particular language in which we will communicate. Number 2, if one talks or speaks, the other should listen, and vice versa. Then only communication can be possible. Okay. So similarly, when 2 computers or 2 devices communicate, there must be some set of rules they should follow. That means to be a part of network and communicate with all other computers, okay, some common set of rules must be satisfied, or it must be what? Obeyed by all the computers or not. These are called protocols. These rules are called protocols. The protocols are nothing but a set of rules that 2 computers must follow in order to communicate with each other and to exchange information. Okay. Then protocols that are required to set up a network. Okay. So the network can be set up by defining some rules. The rules are defined by the technologies also. The first technology will define is Ethernet. Okay, this is the office of Xerox Corporation, okay, in Palo Alto, okay, and they design Ethernet. So Ethernet is the most commonly used communication protocol, okay, for a computer network. It is basically used for what? Bus topology, star topology, all this topology uses Ethernet protocol. Ethernet protocol comes with a device also. This is called Ethernet card or the LAN card, okay. Either it will be inbuilt in the motherboard, okay, or it may be added as a expansion card in the motherboard slot, okay. So this technology it is the most common technology used, and it let us create local area networks. Then we have token ring. It was designed by IBM, okay. This is the IBM headquarters photo, okay. So token ring as a ring topology, the circular topology, and data transfers within a ring. Token ring is the topology that is used to what? Transfer data or exchange information between computers, okay. The next topology is called what? The AppleTalk. AppleTalk is used in what? All Apple PCs and laptops, okay. So Macs, if Macs are connected in a network, then we will be using AppleTalk, okay. Nowadays the most commonly used protocol is what? Ethernet. Now let us see the network architecture, okay. There are two types of network architecture. Network architecture tells you how the network actually works or how it is controlled, okay. First one is peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer means there is no server in this network. In peer-to-peer network, there is no server. All the machines are what? Workstations. So there is no central computer which controls the activity of the network. But still sharing of data and resources and communication can be done in this type of network, okay. So all computer has their own processing power, their operating system to work with. If they want to share some resource, okay, they can share, okay. If they share, then other computers in the peer-to-peer network can access them, okay. Now in peer-to-peer, no computer is superior, okay. All have similar processing power and similar what? Valuation in the network. Then we have client server network. It is a little bit different type of network, okay. Here we have servers, which are most powerful computers in the network, and they store all the resources. They hold all the resources, okay. And the other computers that are what? Other nodes, they actually access the resources from the server. If the server is switched off, okay, then the resources that are part of the server cannot be accessed by the other client computer. So server always serves, and the requesting computer in the client server network are called client. So two types of computers are there in client server network. One is server. Server is the superior computer with high processing power, more storage, and they have all the resources. Any other computer that needs that resource must request a server to serve them. These computers are called client. That's why it is called client server network. Now let us compare peer-to-peer network, okay, and client server network. In peer-to-peer network, central server is not available. Yes or no? There is no server, but central server is available in client server. Trust-based network. It is a trust-based network. That means if you trust somebody, if you share your files, okay, if it is tampered or deleted, okay, if you give the access rights, okay, complete access rights, and if it is deleted, you are the person to blame. So it is a trust relationship based network, okay. But client server network is a server administered network. That means server has all the control, okay. Clear? The computer has equal privileges, okay. But in client server network, client server network, different privileges are given to different types of computer. That means different client may have different privileges. Some may access files, some may access the printer, somebody may not access the printer, somebody may access the modem, okay, or the internet connection if it is shared to him. Okay, that computer. So different computers, different clients may have different rights, okay, in the client server network. So centrally it can be administered. What rights to give to which particular client, okay, it can be controlled. Then there is no server dependency, as because every peer can work individually, okay, because they have their operating system, their own resources, okay, whatever they don't have, they need to share from others, okay. And this client server network is server dependent. If the terminals connected to the computer network are not having what, their own hard drive or operating system, they connect via boot ROM, okay, suppose they boot and connect to the server. If the server is switched off, no client can access the resources. So it is heavily dependent upon server. If the server fails, the entire network fails, okay. So I'll end up with this quote of Nelson Mandela: it always seems impossible until it's done, okay. So you have to do hard work to read all this, okay, then you can answer the questions I'll be posting in the next video, okay. So till then, it's bye.